We know that the Mariana Dam disaster occurred on the 5th of November 2015, and as honourable members have already said, it was the worst environmental disaster in Brazilian history.
This debate is also about how we hold companies headquartered in London or in the UK to account when they don't live up to the standards that they claim to uphold.
The scale of the disaster that the honourable member for Strangford rightly points out is shocking and appalling.
For too long, some multinational corporations based in the UK, EU and the US have damaged the environment and communities in other parts of the world without full compensation. I cannot help but feel that if it had been British or Australian communities impacted by such a disaster, these communities would not have been treated in the same way.
Now, I believe that the company in question, Anglo-Australian mining firm BHP, has behaved appallingly since the disaster struck. It has failed properly to engage and work with the victims.
British listed companies should not be able to hide behind their subsidiaries when things go wrong, and it is quite shocking that almost 8 years after the disaster, we still need to have this conversation. And while we learn about the truly terrible conditions that many in Mariana still face to this day, BHP continue to wax lyrical about their social value targets, their stewardship of the environment, local cultures and economic development. It appears to me that they are hooded crows masquerading as peacocks.
Nearly 7 years after the dam collapse, the end of these reparations and compensation is nowhere in sight.
Does the Minister agree excuse me, that British companies should be held accountable in British courts for their actions across the world?
With the help of global law firm Pogust Goodhead, they are bringing a case, as you referred to, against BHP in London alongside over 700,000 victims affected by the Mariana Dam disaster. This lawsuit is one of the largest cases of its kind, and the damages to the victims in Brazil. But so far, only 2.8 billion has been ring-fenced to cover their liability for the disaster.
Now, finally, Mrs. Latham, I'd like to end my remarks by paying tribute to Pogust Goodhead, the firm assisting the victims with their case, but mainly to the over 700,000 victims themselves, a few of whom have shown outstanding courage in travelling to the United Kingdom to let English courts know the true extent of this disaster.